What's up, Wargamers? Welcome back to World of Wargaming. I'm Isaiah, and today is a day much anticipated and awaited by me. Today is going to be our first game of Hametsu. I'm super excited. We got the hunters all set up, everything ready to go. Got the board set up. I'm super excited to show you the board. Before we do that, if you haven't considered smashing the buttons or checking out any of the links in the description, please just for a second give it a thought. If not, that's cool. And then let's go take a look at the board, talk about this first scenario, and talk our way through our first game of Hametsu from Black Site Studios. Here we are, folks. We finally made it to having this game on the table. So I was instructed by the book for this first scenario of the Wolf and the Devil to set the board up so that it was plains that kind of fade into deep forest. And I'm pretty happy with how I accomplished that. So on the board, we have an Oni encampment where we have 2 regular Oni and 5 lesser Oni. We've got 2 hiding places, one here and then another here on the banks of the river. We have 6 clues, 5 of which were scattered 2d6 from the middle of the board. I rolled 2d6 and I used a d10 to give me a point, a direction. And then there's another behind the house. We have 1 lootable inside of this cottage. And then we have our 4 hunters. So we've got Okazaki Kazuki, our shinobi, who is equipped with a tanto, a kama, and soft armor. Sawada Masato, our Motagi. I'm pretty sure that's what this model is. He's the only one that was in the alternate sculpts that had a ranged weapon. I am not running him with the firearm, however. I'm running him with a longbow. Mase Nobuyuki, who has a bow staff as well as soft armor and has 2 bottles of sake on his person. And if you joined us for the How to Build a Hunter video, this is Eiichi Honda, who has no weapon but soft armor because he wants to be punching stuff with his fist. He has 3 bottles of sake on his person. So Hametsu doesn't really have turns per se. It has player turns and enemy turns, but it doesn't have, like, it's not a turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. It's just, you go back and forth until you're done. So in this early game, considering that I'm deployed here and these Oni are way over here, it's going to be a little while before I have to worry too much about stealth because they got to be within 12 inches of me and have line of sight. And being that it's meant to be forest on this half of the board, there's a lot of line of sight blocking stuff. A lot of little nooks and crannies. All the clusters of trees are line of sight blocks. Now these single trees out here, they ain't doing nothing for nobody, but the clusters, the bamboo clumps, all that stuff, that's line of sight blocking. So we're going to start with me. I'm going to activate my shinobi. Okazuki has a movement of 6 inches, so that's his first move. And then with the second one, you don't have to use all of your movement. I just want to come up to the other side of that clue marker so that I can investigate that next turn. Everybody else is really just going to be doing double moves. So to save a little bit of time on what's probably going to be kind of a lengthy back rep, I'm going to show you where we start. And this is where we've ended up. Now, right now, when the game begins, we are in the stealth phase. There are 3 phases in the game: the stealth phase, the clash phase, and the boss phase. The stealth phase will go on until I am spotted and they are made aware of me. So in the beginning of the game, you have a lot of freedom as long as you are careful to move around the board, check stuff out, and position yourself. So if you were sneaky enough and if things worked out enough in your favor, it is possible that you could find the boss without ever having to deal with the Oni. I think. I'm pretty sure that's possible. But anyways, we're done with my turn. So we're going to go to the enemy turn. And I mentioned the phases, A, because we need to talk about them, but B, because the monsters behave differently in the different phases. In the stealth phase, they will be given a behavior by the scenario. In this case, the lesser Oni will wander and the regular Oni will stand guard. So our Oni who are standing guard will turn to face a random direction, but not the same direction, and not a direction where something is blocking its line of sight within 3 inches. So there are countless ways to randomize something. I agree with Doug that if you have a scatter dice, like an old school scatter dice, or that's the best way to go about it. But anything will work as long as it generates a random direction. I like to use a D10, and just whichever way the D10 points, that's the way they move. So we're going to figure out which direction these guys are going to be standing guard. Now for our lesser Oni friends who are wandering, they're going to move 6 inches in a random direction. So this is what everybody in the Oni encampment looks like now. And this is where we've ended up. So at the end of both the enemy and player turns, we check for stealth. So they are made aware if an enemy is within 12 inches of a hunter and has line of sight, an enemy is within 12 inches of a dead body that it has line of sight to, or an enemy was targeted with an attack during this turn but was not killed. None of those have applied yet, but we do. I just wanted to mention that's how you know when you're going to move from the stealth to the clash. So Ichi, we're going to move up into the house, and he's going to use his second action to interact with the lootable to get a roll on the lootables table. So we need a D6. I assume this is where I roll, because it's not a loot action. It says for when you're doing a body. So 3. It's going to be 5d6 plus 5 gold. Big whammy. That's pretty. That's 10, 16, 17 gold in there. Masay will move 6 inches up to this clue marker, and then we will investigate the clue marker. So here we roll a d6. We can add +1 to it for every clue marker that's already been searched. None have been searched, so a 3. A 3 is venomous residue. I lose 2 health. The 246 is for scaling purposes. So the stronger your hunters are, the more the things hit you for. So I'll take 2 damage on Masay. Okazuki will search the clue that he is next to. 6 + 1 for the one that I've already searched is muddy tracks. I may immediately make a free move action. Sweet. So that free move action brings me into contact with the next clue down the line. So I still have an action left, and you can do the same action more than once. So we're going to search that clue. That's a 2 for the +2 for the 2 clues we've already searched. Blood trails. Clue token gives +2 to subsequent clue table rolls. So on my next one, I'll be +5. So there's a good chance I'm going to call the boss out very quickly. The Matagi will move up, double move 12 to there. That's it for him. Check for stealth. We're not within 12 inches of anybody, and we haven't killed anybody or shot at anybody, so we're going to be good. So again, we'll wander, which is a random D6, or random direction 6 inches, and our 2 larger friends will guard, turn to face a random direction that's not the direction they were just facing, and that's it. So starting position for our Oni. And this is the end result of our enemy phase. Still no violations of stealth. We continue on. H.E. Honda comes out of the house, double moves out. Or that was a single move, wasn't it? So he's got another move. So we're just going to push up a little bit to right there. He's going to single move and stay. Just shuffle up a little bit. He's going to single move Okazaki and then investigate that clue. I have a pretty substantial bonus here. I've found 3 clues, so I'm +3. Plus the blood trails give me another, so I'm +5. +5 to this roll. Let's see if we can find the boss. Get out of town. We do not find the boss that time. We do find some hoarded trinkets. We can roll on the lootables table. D6 roll. 1. We find 3d6 gold. That's still pretty, potentially a good find. 6, 9, 10 gold. I'll take it. Okay. So right here I am within 12 of that guy. They have a 180 degree, a 180 arc of view. So I'm pretty sure that Okazuki is in his line of sight. So he gets an awareness token, and he will raise the alarm once we get to the baddies. So when we go to the enemy turn, our enemies with awareness tokens will activate first, and their first action will be to raise the alarm. The Lesser Oni only have one action, so his action will be to raise the alarm. We will remove all awareness tokens, and then we shift to the clash phase. Big difference now is that the Oni will now be actively pursuing us, and they will no longer use the orders they were given at the beginning of the game. They will use the instincts that are listed on their profiles. So our Lesser Oni have one action, and then here are the things that they will do with those actions. So next closest to me, it'll move next closest, so it'll go basically from this way back. None of them are going to be able to get to me, I don't think, but we'll see. So our Oni make it up to here. This one does make it into effective range of his katana, but he doesn't have any actions left when he gets there, because it was the double move to get up. So it comes back to me as the hunter. Now, I gotta look at some things. Alright, first action for me. I'm gonna move my Shinobi, Okazuki, back this way. Pull him back, and I'm gonna use one of his starting abilities, Distracting Toss. So I select a point within 9. I'm going to select right here. I think. Yes, I'm going to select right here. And these guys have to make a mind test. So they have a mind of 4. They're a lot smarter than I thought they would be. So when we take a test, we roll dice equal to the stat. They have a mind of 4. You are looking for 4s, 5s, and 6s are successes. The number beside the stat in the test is how many successes you need. So on 4 dice, they need 2 4-ups. So the first one passes. Second one passes. So they will both move an inch towards the middle of that spot. So that's their final movement. They move an inch towards that toss. Now what I've done here is A, forced him to disengage here, and B, forced them to present their backs to the rest of my hunters. I would also like to take a moment to point out that technically we shouldn't be in the clash phase right now. I've made my first mistake that I've caught. My Shinobi has his first path of legend selection was Blessed by the Shadow, which is the first time that he would make a mob aware. He doesn't. So technically I would have had another turn of stealth phase at least before anybody started coming at me, but I'm not going to back this up. We're into the clash phase. It's good that we get to see this phase of the game anyways, as we get to see how some combat and some things like that work. So, moving forward, we're going to go with the Matagi, who's going to come back, not all the way, just some, and he's going to put a shot in his back. Now, normally, only melee attacks are capable of critical hitting, which a critical is when you hit them from outside their line of sight. However, the Matagi has a starting ability that allows him to have crits with a ranged attack. So he, Sawada Masato, has a range score of 7. When we fight, I'm going to roll my 7 dice, looking for 4-ups. We get 3 of them. Then the defender will roll their resilient stat, which for the scaling on a regular Oni at my level is 2 dice. Also looking for 4-ups. They get 2. That was a 6. The defender successes cancel out my successes. So I have 1 success, and that 1 success will deal the damage of the weapon, which is normally 2, then plus 1 for the crit, so 3 damage to that. Next, Ishihanda is going to move to right here, and we're going to back punch this dude just right in the freaking kidney. Melee 6. So 2 successes. I have 2 divine favor. I'm going to re-roll that. I lost a dice. That is technically better. 2 resilience, 2 successes, cancel 2 of my successes, so I will deal this much damage. So I deal 1 damage with my fists, plus 1 damage for being a sumo, and then plus 1 damage for the crit. So 3 damage, 3 more damage to that. I'm gonna have the monk get into, he doesn't have a lot of melee, but he's got a little, and he's got some okay bonuses with the bow staff. So we're gonna see what we can do. I say is melee 5. 3 successes to no successes for the Oni. So that's going to be full on. I got to look up some numbers. That's going to be 1 damage base for the bow staff, plus 1 damage for it being for staff expert, which gives me plus 1 damage, and then plus 1 damage for the crit. So that's 3 damage for each success, 9 damage total. He has taken 6, and I just dealt 9. At this scaling, they have a body value of 15. So that Oni goes down and is lootable. That's also the end of my turn. So we'll go to the enemy phase. So this Oni is the closest, obviously. So it will move and then attack. It has melee 4. Getting 1 success. I have resilience 4 on E Honda. Okay, that damage will go through because I rolled poorly. That's okay. Katana should be 1 or 2 damage, not too bad. 2 damage on Honda. Well, then the little guys have 1 action each, so they're just going to be moving, continuing to move this way towards the closest, which is Honda. Lesser Oni marching on through out of the forest. This little guy over here, though, is able to see the shinobi, so he obviously moves towards him as he is the closest in his line of sight. It then returns to me, where I am going to try to get us to the boss phase by moving him to here and then searching that plus 6 to the roll. That is a 9. We will move to the boss phase. All right, so now we're going to roll to see how the boss is going to make his entrance. So we're going to roll a d6. We get a 4. Death from above. Place the boss at the highest point on the table that the model can safely stand on. That is freaking awesome. I'm going to show you why in just a second. It's awesome because this is where the wolf spawns. Can I get an woo? That's sweet. Okay, and in that particular one, it doesn't end the player turn, so I still get to do stuff. So, yeah, man, while I'm here, we're gonna punch this dude. We're gonna just punch him real hard, right in the face, just like Less Wanted, for probably both of my actions. So first attack, first action. That's a pretty good roll. Resilience 2, blocks 2, takes 4. And I am going to go ahead and swing because he's immediately going to be using his actions to get away from me and move off the table. That roll not so good. 2 successes. Blocks 1 of them, so 2 damage. Our monk friend is going to move up and loot this Oni. When we loot a body, we get a D3 on the lootables table. So I get a 2, which is 3d6 plus 10 gold. So 11, 14, 24 gold. Our Motage, Sawada, is going to step out, and he's going to try to take a shot at this wolf up on top of the mountain. He is ranged 7. It's a pretty good, decent roll. 3 misses out of 7. The wolf is, however, resilience 4. Oh, he only blocks 2 of them. So that is 4 damage on the wolf out of his body of 60. We got some work to do. Now, in the enemy phase, all these Oni are just going to go run away from me. So it'll be the wolf and his 2 actions that we need to deal with. With his 2 actions, he comes bounding down the mountain and crashing through the wood. So our sumo friend is going to turn to face the wolf and use his ability Sacred Doyo to drop this token, this circle at his feet that will last until he steps wholly outside of it, and while the sumo is within it, he gains +1 to melee, mind, and ranged. He can have a maximum of one of them out at a time. I'm actually going to move, with my first move, I'm going to move a little bit closer. And he was right there. Okay. Next, Matagi takes off with a double move to run up the riverbank to go get a flanking position on the wolf. Next, we're going to have our shinobi, who's also going to be making a similar move towards a flanking position. Not going all the way in because we want to keep the sumo closer so that he will charge into the sumo so that when it's his turn and not just turn and blast the shinobi. Our monk is going to throw a heal on himself with his regeneration. So he is going to take a mind 2 test. Mind 5, looking for 2 successes. We got 2 successes, so we'll heal for D6 plus his level, which is 1. 4, that will heal me back up to full on Masai Nobuyuki. Enemy phase. Oni don't matter. They will continue to run away and flee the scene. I will move them in just a moment, but we're going to get to the good stuff first with the wolf. So the wolf will press in on Eiichi Honda into his Sacred Doyo. And that's his first action. Second action will be to attack. Wolf will then swing. Oh, that's a good roll. Jesus! Yeah, Honda going to use his second Divine Favor to make them re-roll that. Good Lord. Okay, that's much more acceptable. So Honda is out of Divine Favor. They've got 2 attacks, 2 successes at damage 3, but I still have my resilience roll. And I will block both of those damage, cancel them out. No damage taken for Honda. Matagi's going to spring the trap first and move into a position to fire into his rear. Range 7. I'm going to use his single Divine Favor that he has. That's how he has range 7. He spent a Divine Favor in character creation. That is much better. So we got 4 successes against his resilience of 4. He will block 2 of them and take 6 damage. Because these are 3 damage each because it's a crit because I'm behind his line of sight. Now, the wolf has a special ability where whenever he takes damage, he will move an inch away from the thing that hit him. So I would think that he would just kind of slide further into here. I think that's right. He would still be facing that way, moving away from him. All right, so next we're going to come with Shinobi. Going to crash into the back of him right here with some swangage. Yokozuki has 5 melee. 3 successes. I'll take that. Let's see how the wolf does. He will block all of my attacks. He doesn't take damage, so he won't move there. Now we'll swing with Honda. While in his Sacred Doyo, he has +1 melee, so that puts him up to 7. Swing! Only 3. That's about average, a little bit less than average maybe. We'll see what he does. Blocks 2 of them, so he will take 2 damage there. However, I do have another swing. Because we get 2 actions and we can do the same thing twice. That's on the better side of average. Let's see what his resilience is. Goodness gracious. I'm not rolling these black dice anymore. I'm putting these back in the freaking jar. These things are rolling way too hot. No damage. Oh, wait. No. I wouldn't have had the second swing. So it doesn't matter because when I dealt damage to him, he would have backed an inch away from me. So yeah, so I would have to... My second action would then be to move to the edge of my doyo. We're going to have Masai try to throw a heal on Honda. Oh, and I failed the mind to test. It's okay. That heal is not super needed. I was just gonna try to get it going a little bit. And then he's going. Well, I got 2 actions. Let's just try again. There we go. There's the heal for D6 plus level. 1 plus level is enough to heal the 2 damage that Honda has taken. So we come to enemy phase, where the wolf has Honda within his effective range, closest to him. He's base to base, whereas Shinobi is slightly further. So he'll attack Honda. First attack, melee 5. 3 successes. Honda has a resilience of 4. He will block 1 of them, take 6. Ouch. I actually have Wolfie dice, and it's probably a mistake to swap those for these, but whatever. Second attack. Only 2 that time. Resilience 4. We block both of them. Outstanding. The remaining Oni will flee off the table, and it'll come back to me. Shinobi is currently within his effective range. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a swing with him. Melee 5. That's, he's got 2 Divine Favor. Yeah, we're going to burn 1 of them right here. Okay, we gotta abide by that one. So 1 success against their resilience 4. He will cancel my success. I don't deal damage, so he doesn't move away. So we can swing again. That's better. So 3. He'll block 2 of them and take, with the Tonto, 3 damage total. Because it's 1 base, 1 for the crit, and then it has a crit effect of an extra +1. So 3 damage with the Tonto. I deal damage there, so it will move an inch away. Straight directly away from Honda does require base to base. So we're going to go to here, which does put me in his back 180. So I'll be on pretty big damage mode, and I'm still within my Sacred Dojo, so I still get my bonus. See if we can't just cream the snot out of him here. That'd be beautiful. That's a pitiful roll. Just pitiful. But it does go through, so that is 6 damage, because 1 base, +1 for being my sumo ability, and then +1 for the crit for being behind it. Will then move an inch directly away from me. Sawada Masato is going to have to move a little bit to get in line of sight, but he's going to move to right there and then pop a shot at the rear of the wolf. Looking for 4, 5, 6. 4 successes. That's pretty decent. Let's see what his resilience does for him. He blocks 3 of it, so 3 damage. I'm going to shuffle the Monk Masai over into the Sacred Dojo. He doesn't get a bonus from that, but he does have a 2-inch effective range, so he can strike the wolf from there and still not be the closest. Melee 5. 2 successes. Res 4 for the wolf. Blocks 1 of them. Will take 3, because 1 for base, 1 for the bow mastery, or staff mastery, staff expert, and then 1 for the crit. So another 3 damage on the wolf, and the wolf will move another inch directly away from me. Wolf is currently at 24 damage taken out of its body of 60. It will try to run away when it's reduced to 10 body or less. But for now, it's going to turn around and come back at me. Coming at me with melee 5. 3 successes to my resilience 4. Block 3. Let's go, Honda. Hit him with that thing right there. He ain't ready. Comes back to me. We're going to start with Okazaki, who is going to use his distracting toss, but he's going to move first. So we're going to move less than 6 to right here because I want to be able to see like this spot right here. So where that's going to be our spot, Wolf has to take a mind test. Mind 2, he's pretty smart. He's mind 5, but he's looking for 2 successes. He's a pretty smart wolf. He got the successes, so he will move 1 inch towards that toss. Stop him there. We're then going to come in a move and an attack with Honda. Come on, give me the big swing. Average. On the good side of average. See how the wolf does. Blocks 3 of them, so 3 damage. And he moves an inch away. From this position, Matagi, or Matagi, I'm not sure how to say that word. Should probably look it up. Sawada has clear shot. So we're going to take it. First shot. 3 successes. Blocks all 3 of them. And we'll move an inch away. I'm going to go ahead and take my shot, and then I'll move him. Oh, no, he doesn't move because I don't hurt him. He stays right where he is. 3 successes. Blocks 1 of them, will take 6 damage and then move an inch away. Mase is going to try to get some heals on Honda. So we get the first heal off, D6 plus a level. That'll heal him up completely. So the second action will be to probably chill. Wolf will turn and come back on me. I kind of like this moves an inch. It feels very wolfy, you know, dart in, attack, bounce away, dart in and attack. It feels very wolfy. I like that. Wolf gonna swing. Only 2. That's pretty okay. Of course, they hit for 3 each, so. Oh, we'll block both of them. Good job, Honda. Okay. So we're going to start with Matagi, who's going to shoot at the wolf. Three. Res 4. Blocks 1. Takes 4 and backs away an inch. And I'll shoot at him again. Only 2 that time. And Sawada's already used his intervention. They block both of them. No damage. We'll go with Honda, who can move up and stay within his sacred doyo. And swing. That's a pretty good roll. Wish I'd have had that on one of those rolls when I was punching at his back. Res 4. Blocks 2 of them. Takes 6. 2, 4, 6. He will back away an inch there. Now, the reason previously that he wasn't facing me is because it's moved directly away and he was already facing away from the enemy at that time. So he just kept moving in the direction he was facing. Here, I'm punching him face to face, so he's not going to turn and give me his back. That's how I'm logicking it in my head. I don't really know if what I'm supposed to do there, but that's what makes the most sense to me, so that's how I'm doing it. Just want to let you guys know what was going on in my noggin. Okazaki, our shinobi, is just going to reposition to do something next time it's the hunter's turn. I've still got Mase, and I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with him. I don't want him to be the closest thing to the wolf. I know that. So he's just going to stay put. Goes to the enemy. The wolf will come in on Honda. It's 3. Res 4. Oh, nothing. Golden boy. All right, back to me. Shinobi is going to distracting toss. Right here. Right here. I'm going more dice there. But he's definitely going to pass. So he'll move 1 inch. He'll turn and move 1 inch to there to investigate that. Okazaki will then duck back behind the chicken coop. Next, we're going to go with Honda, who can move still partially within our doyo, and we'll swing. That is just awful. It's okay. Matagi still has shots at crit, and you can shoot into a melee with no penalty to your shoot stat. I need to deal 7 damage, and he'll try to run away, and I just need him to do better than Honda. Which, I don't know, Honda has held me down. I'm not complaining about his performance, except for that last roll. That sucked. 1 success. Sawada has no divine intervention. That is superbly blocked. We'll go again. That is better. 4 successes against Res 4. They block 2 of them. That is 6 damage. And it'll move an inch away, directly away from Sawada. At this point, Masai is going to spring into action. Let me double check. Make sure I'm not cheating. No, definitely within range. We need him to do 1 damage. Come on, Masai. Melee 5. Alright, we got it. That's a good roll. That's a good roll. 4 out of 5 is strong. He will block none of them. That is... Oh, gee, that's crit. So 3, 6, 9, 12 damage. That is technically enough to kill it. But when it's reduced to 10 or fewer, it just simply... clip the previous. So that is enough damage to kill the wolf. However, once it is reduced to 10 or fewer, it simply disappears into the trees, ending the game. Now, that is a win. That is a success for me and my band of rookie hunters. So we're going to get some goodies. We're going to get to level up. We're going to get a D3, roll. We're going to get to roll a D3 on the lootables table as our reward from the village. They may each roll a D3 on the lootables table. Okay, so let's go to postgame. Let's talk about leveling up. Okay, so 3 things are going to happen when we level up. We're going to roll our hunter's body dice and add it to the total of our body points. We're going to choose a path from our new level, a path of legend from our new level or previous level, and we're going to gain 25 gold for each level our hunter currently has. Okay, quick rundown. So Honda ends up at 29 body, 145 gold, and he takes improved resilience, giving himself +1 resilience. Masai Nobuyuki ends up at body 26, 88 gold, and takes Ki Regen, which is a spell Mind 3. I can target a friendly hunter within 3 inches, and they regain 1 divine favor. Okazaki Kazuki, our shinobi, ends up at body 28, gold 86, and takes improved crit, which is actually his other level 1 ability. But looking through the tree, I think this is gonna work out nicely. And then lastly, Sawada Masato, our Matagi, ends up at body 20, 64 gold, and takes strong shot, which is if he shoots without moving, it is at +1 damage. We do not have any injuries to roll for because we did not have anybody that was removed or that ended at less than half of their starting health. We may spend any gold that we've accumulated, so I may buy some things. I could start on some weapon modifications, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to wait and buy some better weapons. So I'm just going to stack the gold that I have right now. I'm probably not going to buy anything. The only thing that I might buy is I might pick up some armor on Sawada because he doesn't. Oh no, Sawada has armor on. I thought he didn't have. Did I have somebody that didn't have any armor? No, everybody's got at least soft armor. Okay, then yeah, I'm probably not going to spend any of my hard-earned money, and I don't want to retrain anything. So that, my friends, is the conclusion of our first game of Hametsu. that was a lot of fun. That was worth the time that it took me to get it to the table. I'm looking forward to getting set up, figuring out what I need for the next game. Again, I haven't read ahead, so I don't know what models I may or may not need for the next game. So gonna have to figure that out and then get that straightened out, situated, make sure I got the stuff that I need for the board ready, and get to it. But for today, my friends, thanks so much for tuning in, hanging out while we played some Hametsu. I hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of your day.